Hello and welcome to Willow Talk. Thank you very much for listening and Happy New Year. Producer Sam Ferris here with you today while Peacock Has and Heels are still nursing their New Year's Eve hangovers. And we're here to chat with Australia batter Travis Head, courtesy of Instant Windscreen and Tinting. Speaking of New Year's, Trav, how'd you see it in?
Very quiet one for me. Bit different to the years gone by, but no, family here in Sydney, and I think when Miller made the 9 o'clock fireworks, so she was stoked about that. And then it was quickly off to bed for everyone. So yeah, very quiet, very low key, and yeah, maybe a nice change.
Fair enough. Before we get to the SCG Test, the fifth test of the border-gavaskar Trophy Series, let's look back at that Melbourne Test because it was an all-timer. What made that win so special for you, Trav?
I think the crowd for one, to have, I think it was what, mid 70 or 77,000, I think was one of the numbers I heard off the top of my head on that last day. I
Yep.
think that's almost unheard of. Well, it is. So it was a record crowd for us during the week, and each day just, I guess as the days were going and just the crowd was brewing up and it would just fill up more and more, and each day was sort of 80,000, 80,000, 80,000, and then it just didn't die off. And I was walking up the race, I think on the fifth morning, and one of the security guards sort of made an off comment like, I think they're going to catch him by surprise a little bit with the crowd numbers, and
Yeah.
well, sort of what are you expecting? And someone sort of said 80,000. I couldn't believe that. And then after lunch, yeah, just the crowd swell and everything that went about that. And then the game situation, obviously getting the tee and feeling like there was a fair bit of work to be done, and then for it to fall the way it did was it made for an incredible week. I thought it was an amazing test match, ebbed and flowed. Both teams fought hard in periods. Um, Both teams, I think, felt like they would have been driving the games at certain situations. I felt like they were in positions to win games of cricket. So when it ebbs and flows like that and you end up on the right side of it, it was a hell of a week.
Talk us through that tee chat because am I right in saying that after the game you were told that you were going to bowl a tee and you weren't real happy with it?
I'm filthy whenever I have to bowl. More so having to warm up and get moving. But it's been a long week. Even though I didn't get any runs, it's been a big 4 or 5 weeks for us, and we're getting to that back end of that stage. And when you're grinding away in the field and you've done 100 overs in the first innings, and there wasn't much on offer. I'm happy to bowl in very favourable spinning conditions, but I didn't feel like that was the wicket for me to have to roll the arm over. So yeah, we got through that tea break, and then funnily enough, nice to end up opening up an end for the boys to go to work.
You'll be putting your hand up in Sri Lanka, no doubt. Just on that big wicket, Rishabh Pant, as you said, cracked the game open. Probably more attention on the celebration than the wicket itself. We've seen it before, but have you realised just the sort of innuendo that celebration has caused? Because there are a lot of question marks when it first came out.
Obviously not with how it's gone down.
Yeah,
Oh, look, yeah, a little gag between obviously the boys, which has been going on for a while. It flowed from Brisbane. I walked in the
yeah,
sheds, and someone had already put a cup of ice on my seat when I got the wicket in the Gabba Test match. So when we win, I guess I took that morning wicket and we walked off the field. Um, there's been a few running gags for the boys. I either had a Guinness thing on my seat, I had a green juice on the first morning after I batted on one of the mornings, and then the cup of ice. So it's a go-to gag for the boys, and I think yeah, just stem from that. It's about saying get that glass ready. My fingers coming in, and yeah, it's gone down pretty well in the other side of the country, and yeah, it's yeah, obviously not ideal. It's brought some attention, some heat to some people that I wouldn't intend to, but yeah, I think everyone will eventually understand where it was coming from, and we move on.
yeah, yeah. Heartless celebration. But we've seen over the test match and the series, there's been a bit of that edginess, I guess, between both sides, copying celebrations. You saw Bumrah do the arms up when he got Konstas in that second innings. Is that just all competitive spirit out there and you don't really feel it off the field?
Well, the easier thing, well, I could have double stepped and charged him, you reckon, would have laid him out. That was trending in the game as well at certain stages.
Yeah,
I think, sometimes I guess, and we live in such a little bubble within our team. Sometimes you can get caught up into the sort of the running gags of the group and having a bit of fun with the boys, and forgetting sometimes that there's 80,000 people and cameras everywhere, and how it's interpreted is up to the person watching, I guess. But I guess you sometimes forget the environment that you're in, and sometimes that, well, from my side of things, people take things a lot more seriously than you expected. Whether that be walking in the nets without pads on, whether that be, I guess, taking the piss out of, I guess, Ish asked me after the game about what was the plans for Rishab, and I said, just get me on, and that's another gag. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I try and
Yeah.
take myself very lightly and have a bit of a laugh, but sometimes forget the, I guess, the magnitude that we're on, I guess the platform that people interpret it different ways and how that can be taken. But at the end of the day, I'm here trying to be me and just have a bit of fun and be with my mates, and that's how I'm trying to play the game at the moment. And then if that comes with how it's interpreted, then so be. But it's not the intention.
I think we agree with you that people just need to chill out a little bit. It's just a sport. We're just playing a game of cricket. And you'd be doing this in the park, whether it's 8 people watching or 80,000 people watching.
And that's the thing. Like I call the boys out a fair bit on different things, and they'll call me out on all the things. And whether it be in the field and something come across the stump, like what everyone to remember is, there's 11 blokes having a bit of fun, and some people take it more serious than others. And I think this whole series has shown that, like, some of the stuff that's been blown out of the water and some of the stuff that's been, I guess, spoken about in the press or bits and pieces, it's got a bit niggly, and I reckon that hasn't got anything to do with the two teams playing in the middle. I think it's been played well and played fair, and yes, there's been a few little touch points, but at the end of the day, I think both teams get along really well. Both teams have shared conversations, or when we walk past each other, acknowledge each other, and that's not something that's with every team. And then I feel like the other side of things in the media and the crowds and want it to be life or death sometimes, and want it to be the biggest thing that they've ever seen, and there'll be a team that wins and a team that loses this week, and it's been a hell of a series, but that's what the game is, and that's all that we want to win. But if we don't at the end of the day and a team's better than us, it's so be. But yeah, it's definitely interpretation at the moment. I think outside that it's life or death, but that's not the case.
Nah, and you're all teammates in a couple of weeks anyway. So
Yeah,
by the
me and the
sounds,
me and the Tish are tight, mate. Don't worry, me and the Tish, we're tight.
yeah, hearing you before, it sounds like you love an impact sub in a Test cricket. You know, you could just bat and sit on the field and then come on and bowl if you had to.
Exactly. Lucky I got the coach in the sheds. I've been poking away at that impact player. Don't worry.
You talked about stump mic there before. One thing we picked up on during the Jaiswal wicket in the second innings, that you've gone over to him and said, "Did you hit it?" And he said, "I don't know," which in your eyes sounded like, "Yep, he hit it," and you went and told the guys. When there's a DRS review like that, are you one of the first to go up there and just suss out
Uh,
what the batter
I-
actually thinks?
I think you'll see it a fair bit. I'm always at mid on and mid off, and I'm not charging in and hoo-haing and jumping about most times to wicket. I'm actually walking most of the time, just stroll in and think, and most times there's DRS, most times there's a review, so you don't have to rush in because you got heaps of time. And I try to, it's great. We got another wicket, and I stroll in and a couple of high fives, and I'm normally walking past the batters, so I'll make comment. And I said, "Jais, did you hit it?" And he said, "Not sure." And
Right.
in the game so far, every time the batter has said not sure, it is I hit it. So
Yeah.
because you either know or you don't. And even some people go, "Yeah, I smacked it." Some people go, "No, I didn't hit it." And normally, and everyone's pretty honest on the field. If they go, "Yeah, I hit it," or "No, I didn't hit it," so when you get the nose, I sort of stroll past and go, "Boys, no, I didn't hit it. Don't worry about it." And then everyone's sort of okay, and then you watch it, and yep, true, fair enough, didn't hit it. With the note, when the not sures, a Duckett did it a few times in England Ashes, down leg side, or a Nick and go, "Well, I said, Duck, what do you reckon?" He goes, "Oh, I'm not sure. I heard a noise, but I'm not sure." It's always hit it. And then he said, Josh just said, "Oh, look, I don't know." So I took that as, I reckon we're on here. So, but yeah, I just walk past and go, "What do you reckon?" And I'd do the same if I was the batter as well. I'd be either telling them I hit it or a plum or what I thought.
Can you believe the reaction to that dismissal? Because it was clear as day that he hit it. And I know Snicko didn't pick up on it, but you could just see visually that the ball changed direction.
Yeah, we thought it was pretty clear. I think most of the cricking world think the same, but with grey areas with everything and people nitpicking and a little bit like I said before about different interpretations about things, and a few people want to be uh, some people are saying some outrageous things, and I don't know if it's to try to get a rise out of people or whatnot. But yeah, some of the stuff I've seen written about or spoken about, especially from some commentators around, they're thinking it wasn't out or that the ball does do things after it. They're very experienced people that should know better, but that's not the case sometimes. But that's okay. They're paid for an opinion, and sometimes I think people want to get a rise out of different environments. So not much you can control.
No, you're right. Sammy Konstas, big talk all day one. You were out there playing while you're in the dressing room. I can tell you, watching on TV, the WhatsApp chats lit up. Could not believe what was happening out there in the middle, especially was it his second over or third over? He starts to ramp one of the best bowls ever. What was it like in the dressing room? Everyone's saying they're having heart attacks up there, but what was it like when he pulled that out?
I think Smudge was thinking about maybe getting the Pope-mobile around the SCG this week and just calling it quits. To get the motor car around and get on the float and go around, and said that's me done. And then yeah, a few others were asking about the defib and different things. So it took me. I'm on board. I'm happy with it. If you look at the test match and how it played out and that start that we got, I think we got 80 or 90 run partnership at the start and sort of flew away, and it could quite easily be the difference in the game when you look at it overall, to get the start that we did, to then drive the game, to just take the pressure off a few other guys. To have the balls to do it at 19. I couldn't quite get my head around what I was seeing. It was incredible. And that's not going to be every time. And I think the more I've got to know him over 5 days, I think he thinks well, and he tries to sum it up, but he's also playing on instinct and being someone who didn't play on instinct for a little period of time, now trying to do that. I think that's the right way forward, and I think he's hopefully got a huge test career ahead of him. He started with a bang. There's been a few well-known players over the years to start their careers with a bang, so why not do that on Boxing Day by reverse ramping him in the third over in front of 100,000? So, incredible that to sum that up and to do that. And I look forward to seeing how he starts this week.
It's funny you say that, because I see a lot of Travis Head in Sam Konstas, and it sounds like you're sort of more him in the back half of your career than you were at the start, trusting your instincts. Do you have any advice for him about what you've experienced so far?
No, I think it's great. I don't think I'm anywhere near I haven't got the skill set that he's got, obviously. But yeah, that new age and old age, I'm 31 now. So, but yeah, I guess the only thing I did try to do throughout the week is, just trying to keep him with all that energy into us. I think he's got so much energy, and he played in such a good way, and he's great with the crowd and everything, but just trying to make sure he keeps putting that energy into us and not worrying about what everyone says or the opposition, and getting himself into, I guess that's the older me saying it to the, as you said, the younger me. He's just trying to stay as leveled as he can be, in terms of interactions with the opposition, basically, and just making sure that he as I've seen with a silly joking celebration, how it can turn into unwanted attention. So just making sure that we will look after him. He's excited. He's doing great things. He's had a great start. And just trying to, look after him, but also making sure that he just be himself. And I think that's what he's brought to the team this week. I've enjoyed that. I didn't know how to take him after playing a Shield game against him. It's amazing. It's amazing what you like playing against people to playing with him. I've really enjoyed him over the last sort of 10 days, and he's got a long career ahead of him.
What about that Shield game had you a little bit iffy?
Well, look at what he did to India. It's the same sort of thing. He's a confident 19-year-old kid who's off his head, who does not shut up in the field. So everything that I'm not, he was in the field. So he was doing my absolute living. I actually said that to his old man. He goes, "What did you think of him at the start?" And I was like, "I don't know if you want to know what I thought at the start, but I've really enjoyed him so far." And there's a lot of people that you'd say you want to play with rather than against, and he's starting to look like he's one of those guys that you'd rather in your dressing room and not play against.
It sounds like it's another Dave Warner. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing,
Yeah.
but chirps a lot, got prodigious talent. Sounds like Bull version 2.
Bull 2.0, you reckon? There's been a few that are trying to take the mantle, so I don't know if anyone can quite outdo what Bull does. But give Sam maybe 10 years and he might be at the same level.
Let's not judge anybody when they're 19. They've got a lot of growing up
Exactly,
to
that's
do.
what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. That's you gotta let him do it. You gotta let him be a 19-year-old. You gotta let him be late for the bus every now and then. You gotta let him forget his stuff. You gotta, yeah, he hasn't got mum to look after him as much around the boys, so he's gonna have moments, but that's okay.
Let's let him forget his shoes when he goes to Kirribilli House. We saw
I can't believe
Wilson
it. We talked about it before. He lives in the state. He lives in Sydney.
Yeah.
He should be able to go home and get some black shoes. I didn't have leather shoes, so I can't say anything. I wore black shoes, but not. I wore trainers pretty much. Yeah, not and a no belt as well. It was it was what the last 10 days has been exactly that. He's rocked up in green shoes without a belt. So and yeah, at least he's on time for the bus. That's good.
So if you are listening and you haven't caught up on that, he went to Kirribilli House. Both teams go there on the 1st of January, meet the PM, meet lots of politicians. Generally, it's a pretty stale affair. I've been to a few of them, Trav, a bit different for you as a player, but normally you're just sitting around talking. There's not much interaction between the teams.
Exactly the same.
There's a game of cricket with the kids. Yeah, the food's pretty good. Food's
No
normally very
cricket,
good.
no cricket. Food was good. Food was good. View was good.
Yeah.
Two teams interacted well. They were both chatting, so it's
Oh,
good. Yeah.
But Sammy, everyone dresses up in their good gear, and Sammy turned up with wearing green Adidas shoes, no belt, shirt untucked. He did look like
Hair everywhere.
It was very
Yeah,
funny.
he did. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the SCG test. And Trav, this is almost as big as it gets. I mean, if it was 1-1, maybe a little bit more on the line, but 2-1. Australia's been in this position in the Ashes in the past couple of years, being 2-1 up, going to that 5th test match. A little bit different because you hold the Ashes. This time you can't lose this game and you win the border-gavaskar trophy. Has the team spoken about it, finishing off the series, having those past experiences?
No, we've not spoken about it, and I think we know what's riding on. I think we need one more win as well for the Test Championship final.
Yeah.
And yeah, both teams that India need to win as well to keep their hopes alive as well. So not only have they got the series on the line, but they've got an opportunity for that final as well. And it's a huge test. Like I said, both teams have played exceptionally well throughout the series. It's ebbed and flowed. You could quite easily mount an argument where both teams feel like they should be in a position to win the series. So to get here and to be on the line for them to retain it, I know how hard it is on the other end of it to be away in an Ashes series. To I guess win test matches or multiple test matches is hard to do. We've been able to retain the Ashes twice and not quite get there. So if they were able to do that this week, it's a massive achievement. They've done it a couple of times as well, and they've won series, but now to retain it, it's still incredibly hard to do away from home, and especially now it's 5 test matches. We're normally done by now against India, and this is obviously the first time that there's a 5th, and it does have that sort of that Ashes feel of matchups and grind, and we're towards the back end of it now, and you can sort of see sort of that 9-10 days off that we got at the end of it, and we've got one more night to have a chill out tonight and look after ourselves and go into what is an amazing week. It's to have it riding on the week, to have obviously what Sydney brings with the McGrath Foundation, and I think 4 days sold out, and the crowds have been incredible everywhere I've gone. To have this build up that it quite easily could go into the last session again with everything on the line is exciting for everybody. So let's see how we play over the next 4 or 5 days. If it's quicker than that and we're on the right side of it, that'd be great. But I think we're looking forward to the week. It doesn't need to be spoken about.
It doesn't need to be spoken about, nor does the day 5 rain. So let's hope that doesn't come into it. Unless Australia holding on. Bring on the rain in that case. Yeah. There's going to be a debutant. Beau Webster's going to play. Mitch Marsh has been omitted from the team. We'll get to Mitch in a sec. But Beau, he's done it over the last couple of years at Shield level, outstanding numbers with bat and ball. And now he's going to be Australia's 469th men's test cricketer. What's it like being around Beau the past month, and what's he going to bring to the team?
Yeah, it's been great to have him. I think it's been very well deserved. Around the group, he's fitted in brilliantly. he's brought energy, and it's been nice. I've played against Beau a lot over the course of our careers, and I think we said I was walking back with the car today. I think this might even be the first game we played together, which I
Wow.
thought we might have stuck one somewhere in a PM's game or a second 11 game somewhere, but we haven't. But we've had a good relationship over a long time playing against each other, and I think he plays the game the right way, and um, what he brings as a person as well, and around a group is lots of energy, and he's done that. Doesn't take himself too seriously, has a laugh, and he's fitted in brilliantly. So someone over a course of a couple of years that's put some pretty good numbers on the board, and he's in great form, and it's exciting for him. It's obviously at the same breath, it's tough on someone who's so loved in the team in Mitch, but I think the way he takes it and is around the group, that will make it a bit easier for everyone, and make it easier for Beau as well going through that. I think the support that Mitch will bring to that, and the help that he'll bring over the next 5 days. So, yeah, it's an exciting time. I'm looking forward to tomorrow for him.
Yeah, it sounds like it's one great team man replacing another great team man. And Beau's been picked for his batting ability, of course, and his bowling ability, which has started as an off spin and now he's bowling a bit of seam up. You would have faced him in the nets. What's he like to face as a batter?
I haven't faced him this series actually. I
At
joked
all.
yesterday, not at all. I try and stay away from him. I normally end up with Starkey because Bora puts me in the group with Starkey all the time, which is a nightmare. I haven't faced Beau at all this series, so he's been bowling away and to the other blokes. I did joke him yesterday about his dusty off spinners and how nice they were when he did come on. But his this transition's been better. I think his the seamers are much better than
Yeah.
those other things he was bowling. So, but no, I faced him in a few Shield games. Yeah, and his numbers don't lie. He's bowled exceptionally well. He's already bowled on this wicket this year, so he had some good insight around that today. And so yeah, but he'll be needed at some stage. I'm sure that will be the talk around. I think both teams are the same. We're 5 Test matches in. Some blokes have bowled some big overs, and this is where I guess the strength of your squad and who you got around it and how you can manage through certain periods of time in games is hugely important. So there's no doubt he'll be needed at some time this week, and he'll be able to do the job.
You're the resident part-time off spinner, so don't let him come in there and take that role. I mean, there's not going to be a cup of ice waiting on his seat when he gets back to the change room.
I think the numbers don't lie on that one, so I think I'll be safe with that one.
Look to the stats. I mean, the stats, unfortunately, for Mitch Marsh, 70 odd runs at 10 this summer, just hasn't quite done how he would have liked, no doubt. But you see, he took it pretty well. How's he been around the team, knowing that he's not playing this 5th Test?
Yeah, it happened pretty quickly, I think. But obviously the news came out today and at training and whatnot. But yeah, I was disappointed. I'm sitting next to him in the change rooms at the SCG, and I actually felt like he batted really well in Perth.
Yeah,
So I guess and then when you look at it in terms of a series, it feels miles ago, but it's only 3 or 4 weeks ago that um, I felt like he was moving really well and played. I think he got just under 50. I think he might have got 47 or 48, and
yeah.
he moves really well. It looked like he's going to sort of take that what we needed in that middle order and kickstart a series and play well. And mate, he's a Bumrah with that second year ball a few times, and
Yeah.
you're up against probably the best bowler that's ever played the game in his career. We're going to look back in the series, and when we go, gee, he's been knocked over a few times by Jasper. It's yeah, it is what it is. But like Mitch is a realist. Like he understands it. There's no doubt he'll be disappointed. He's played a huge role for us, and I think he's still got a hugely amount of talent and skill to still do it for us for a long period of time. Everyone goes through it. I've been through the same little situations before where it doesn't quite come the way we like. But like I said, as a team, man, we all sort of got the car back and we're all been chilling this morning and training. And he's been disappointed, but he's been the same old Mitch. He'll bring energy. He'll bring a lot of support for Beau during the next 5 days as well. So might be the last time we see him in this squad. And yeah, I hope for the Mitch and my sake, someone that I'll get along really, really well with, that, yeah, he'll be back soon.
Yeah. Mitch Marsh, whenever Brad Haddon picks a composite 11 here, it doesn't matter if it's, best IPL 11 or best right-handers to play in the 21st century, whatever it could be. Mitch Marsh is, if he's not in the team, he's always the 12th man. So he's always there.
That sums that up.
And,
yeah.
Yeah. And as you said, heaps of cricket left in him. It's not like the last we'll see of Mitch Marsh.
No.
Trav, your own form. You go hundreds back to back, 80-odd, 89 was it in Perth, and then 0 and 1 in Melbourne. Fickle game, all cricket. I think the most astonishing thing was...
I thought I'd say fresh for the last. I thought I'd just feed up and let the boys go about their work.
Share it around. Why not? I think that the more shocking thing out of Melbourne was that you were bowled without playing a shot, which is not something we haven't seen Travis Head do for a while. So it's fair to say that's the last ball you're going to leave this summer.
I thought it was a pretty good lead until it bounced. And I thought, just give me a bit of luck, and then just nick the top of him. And I thought, in the second innings, I pick a fielder out, which was, that happens as well.
You middled
it.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to plan on running anyway. When I hit it, it just turns out that Tish was standing there. So disappointing. I think 8 balls for the week or whatever it was, but that happens in the game sometimes, and that quite easily could have happened in Adelaide or Brisbane. I'm happy it didn't because I got to get some runs. But in a series like this and the quality of the bowling that we're going to face, you're always going to miss out. And it may be the same this week, but let's hope it's not. I feel like I'm moving well and go and relax tomorrow and prepared to hopefully play a role and in whatever we do. And a winning team will be nice.
Mate, you've got them out of your system now. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no, we're all good now.
Last one before we let you go, and this is not related to the Test match series, and we wish you all the best for the 5th Test. That Glenn Maxwell catch last night, I don't know if you guys were sitting around watching it, but he's pulled off a few screamers in his time, but that one might be the top of the list.
What I'm filthy about as well is he talked after it and said that it wasn't his best. There was a catch in Brisbane that he reckons is better. He's absolutely talking out his ass. That was that's the best catch. That will go up there as that's probably the best catch in the BBL, if not in cricket. It's definitely in the top 5 in terms of where that stacks up. But ridiculous. But to try to say that he's got a better one than that is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, he maybe he could because he has made a few, but
he's got a few on the list. But he called out in the 3rd row and threw it back. So
he took it so easy. It was like it was just a practice session.
Nah, he's a freak show. Fair play. It's nice to see him go on a winners list. That's one thing Beau's been copping over the last 4 or 5 weeks is how the Stars are going. So he walked in very, very happy. This is before he got told he was picked. So he was already chipper this morning about the Stars getting a win and very happy. And then he's going to tell his Test debut is tomorrow. So been a pretty good day for the Big Web. He's pretty flat about things over the last 3 or 4 weeks about how the Stars are going, but that's okay. He reckons they're back.
Yeah, they're back. They only got to
I'm not sure about
it. Results go their way and they'll make the final. We actually spoke to Beau Webster on Willow Talk earlier in the summer, so if you haven't listened to it, go back, check out. It's a great chat. Slug from Snug, also known as the Masterpiece. Yeah. He was pretty vague about why he was called that, but I think you could understand why.
The Big Slug,
But a great story. The Big Slug, tall dude. Funny guy. We wish him all the best. And you too, Trav. All the best for the 5th Test. Thanks for chatting to us on Willow Talk this summer. Great insights as always. And it feels like the end of the summer, but you've got Sri Lanka coming up. You've got a Champions Trophy. Then the IPL. Cricket never stops.
It is I'm declaring it's the end, and then I'll worry about that in 10 days after it. I'm going to do nothing for 10 days knowing what's coming, but it'd be nice to play well this week. Let's hopefully go out with a bang, play well, and then we'll worry about the rest of it in a couple of weeks' time. But, it's been good to be on.
Thank you, Trav. All the best, mate. That was Trav Head, brought to you by Instant Windscreen and Tinting. Instant Tinting, your trusted tinting experts. Call 132 444 or visit instanttinting.com.au. That's Willow Talk for today. We'll be back next week to wrap up the Test series. And don't forget to stay tuned for our daily wraps with Izzy and Ferg from the SCG. Take care.
Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.